Thanks for joining us today on this blustery, wintry, windy sort of day. We've got unbelievable gusts of breeze and, as you can tell, as well as jets going by all the time. But the cool thing about having jets going by all the time is because in every single one is a pilot. That's a segue. Did you get it? Jet, pilot. I'm going to talk about. Anyway, thanks for joining us. We hope you subscribe. If you do, click the notification bell so you won't miss any of our fun. The Honda Pilot was first introduced back in 2002 as a 2003 model year vehicle and has been vastly improved over the years. It's the largest SUV in the Honda lineup, and it's a 3-row vehicle that can handle either 7 or 8 people, depending on the trim level and seating configuration. It shares the same powertrain as the Acura MDX and the same platform and chassis as the Honda Odyssey minivan. And it was designed to be a full-size SUV vehicle that drives like a family sedan. Well, I guess we'll find out today on our review if that's true. Now, I'm going to give you the US stats and pricing direct from the Honda website. So if they're not true for you, I'm sorry. The Honda Pilot trim levels include the following. For 2022, the brand new Sport Edition, which runs 37,580 plus, thereabouts, and it replaces the previous LX and EX trim levels. Then there's the EXL trim level like we have today for 39,810 plus. There's a special edition for 40,410 starting, and the all-new Trail Sport Edition for 44,310, which has additional ground clearance, 18-inch rims, black trim accents on the exterior and interior with Trail Sport badging inside and out, as well as some really cool orange stitching. Next comes the Touring for 44,370, the Elite for 49 and change, and the Black Edition for 51,370. And that has blackout treatment, grills, the rims, and there's additional accents and the red ambient lighting on the inside, as well as some red stitching. They all get the Honda sensing technologies along with the driver assistive technologies, as well as a sort of active and passive Honda safety features like airbags and seat belts. Yeah! Now, the Honda Pilots are either going to be front-wheel drive with available all-wheel drive for about $2,000 more, or they're going to come all-wheel drive. And just so you know, as far as fuel efficiency is concerned, the front-wheel drive is going to get a little bit better fuel efficiency than the all-wheel drive. But I'm not going to give you the ratings here because when I do, Honda makes me post all these disclaimers, and I don't want to subject you guys to all that sort of endless minutia. Now, as far as suspensions are concerned, you have McPherson struts in front and a multi-link independent rear suspension. And the Pilots do come with available 18-inch as well as 20-inch rims and all-season steel-belted radial mud and snow tires. Plus, properly equipped, the front-wheel drives can get 3,500 pounds worth of towing out of them, while the all-wheel drives can take 5,000 pounds with you, properly equipped. Now, some of the Pilots have the power tailgate, and some of them have the hands-free tailgate, and unfortunately, the Sport Edition doesn't have either. Sorry. Some of the Pilots come with the advanced rear entertainment system, but most of them don't. Sorry. Now, as far as sound systems are concerned, you know I love my tunes. The base models get 7 speakers, 215 watts of power with a subwoofer tucked in for good measure. But the Touring and the Elite editions get the 10 speaker with the subwoofer and 590 watts of power. Ours doesn't have that today. Oh well. A moonroof is available in the upper trim levels, along with a panoramic roof in the Elite Edition. Now, some of you might be wondering why I've skipped mentioning the engine stats up until now. Well, to tell you the truth, it's because my wife says her eyes glaze over whenever I go over them. So I'm hoping she'll watch more of my video this time so she can actually see that I really do a lot more work putting these things together than she thinks. It's selfish, I know, but that's me. Thanks for bearing with me here. I'm gonna go open the hood, show you the engine. Hood prop. All right. Well, the 2022 Honda Pilot comes with a 3.5-liter V6 single overhead cam, intelligent variable valve timing, electronically controlled 6-cylinder engine generating 280 horsepower, 262 pound-feet of torque. And it can take this from 0 to 60 in a touch over 6 seconds. And the Pilot takes regular unleaded gas. And that's a big plus, especially in this day and age. And all of the Honda Pilots come with a 9-speed automatic transmission with paddle shifters, and it's the push-button transmission. But I'll show you that when we go for a ride. There is a D and S mode, the drive and sport mode button. Plus, with the all-wheel drive system, you do get a drive mode select where you can get the normal, snow, mud, and sand settings. And they'd come in handy in case you wanted to do some light off-roading. All of these come with the remote engine start as a standard feature. That's important. Thank you, Honda. I love that feature. In the winter, you can warm the car up before you even get to it. In the summer, you can cool it off. And in the fall and spring, people need to know about cargo space. Ta-da, before they buy a Pilot. Now you can open it up with the key fob for your rear hatch. You got a release button, of course. You could get some models with the hands-free release. And behind the third row, you've got 16 to 18 and a half cubic feet of cargo space. Second row down's about 46 to 55. And then with all the seats down, you're looking at 84 almost to 110. And these numbers are variable based upon whether it's a front-wheel drive or an all-wheel drive. So don't hold me to those figures. But there is something very cool about the Pilot. You have additional stowage space right down here. Ta-da! Hence the variable. And if you want, you can take this floor piece and slide it right down there. So it's a very versatile rear cargo area. And it's real easy getting seats out of the way. Ba-bam! Come here. Go! There you go. All right, well, as far as the back seat is concerned, it's relatively easy to get into. And you have plenty of room for little Bobo and Bobette. I don't know about Bobolina here in the middle. That's going to be a little cozier than most, but there's nice headroom back here. There's ventilation, which is great. Always nice to have vents back here for the kids. You have tons of cup holders. I have to mention the cup holders. There's 16 cup holders. There's 6 of them back here just for these 3 little takes. Oh my God. There's 2, 4, and then 6 right here. 6 of them there. Then there's the rest are up front. That's all I'm saying. These kids, they're going to be hitting the restroom breaks on a regular basis in this thing. But anyway, it's really comfortable, it's nice, and there are some tie-down hooks when you do just have cargo back here if you want to strap your kids in with a little extra, I don't know, stuff. And what else? It's pleasant. And if I want to get out, ba-bam, done. Now the Pilot midsection's got plenty of room. If you want to give the kids in the back some space, you've got sliding back and forth. You also have reclining, which is great. So everyone's going to be comfortable. You do have the extra storage bins down here. Plenty of places for stuff, even in the armrest. And here, if you want a little privacy, and oops, there you go. You have privacy screens on these back 2 windows. And the windows go all the way down, flat. So if you want to rest your arm outside, you can do it. And you have air conditioning back here. You can control it up front. You can control it back here. You got a couple USBs, little extra, pockets back here. Lots of room. And again, it's a very comfortable environment. I think you'll like it. Armrest. Headrest. I'm gonna rest. Oh, all right. After that beauty nap, and we're out of the wind, which is great. Let's take it for a ride, shall we? All right, let's get started, shall we? Starts right on up. Put it in gear, and that means I want to go drive. You push a button. That's the 9-speed automatic transmission. It's very simple. Park, reverse, you pull back because you're going backwards. You have your neutral, and your drive select has both the drive mode as well as sport mode to tighten things up a little bit, a little better responsiveness, etc. But I'm going to leave it in drive. Have to take off the parking brake. That is a traditional parking brake to the left with your foot. Now, we obviously have gone from a windy, gray, blustery day to a rainy day. A couple things. You have your intermittent wiper system, which definitely comes in handy today on the right stalk. You have your rear wiper, which a lot of people don't even think about, but it's there. Comes in very handy. Now, what's nice about the EXL that we're in is you can hear the pitter-patter of the rain on our beautiful sunroof, which does have its own manual shade for that beautiful indoor-outdoor feel. Now, this does have the self-locking feature, that is the drive-away feature. As you start to drive, it will lock all by itself, which is a handy convenience to have. But you also have the walk-away feature where if you have your key fob in your pocket and you walk away from the vehicle, it too will lock. So here's a neat thing. On your key fob itself, you'll have a number 1 or number 2, and that corresponds to the memory seating. So that once you set up your memory seats for either driver number 1 or number 2, whoever has that key fob in their pocket or purse, when they get in the car, the seats will automatically adjust accordingly, which is kind of a nice feature to have. Now I'm going to put my key fob down here in my little center tray. The one thing you know about Hondas is they build a tremendous amount of practicality and utility into all of their vehicles, and that is with their storage areas. As we mentioned, they have 16 cup holders. We've got 4 of them up here. We got 6 in the middle row. 6. It's craziness, crazy. But you also have 3 levels of storage. So if I wanted to store a water bottle, something like that, on the bottom level, which I like to do from time to time, you've got room. There's even a second level right here. There's your cup holder, and there's even a little storage bin in your armrest. You have your very large glove box, and your center console is extremely deep down here with this removable tray. And you have a nice cover on it too, which locks into position. Okay. By the way, I forgot, you've got a backup camera. I didn't mention that. And you have active guidelines. So that comes in handy, keeps you safe. As always, there's a tremendous amount of safety built in. Adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, blind spot detection, rear cross traffic detection, and again, road mitigation. And of course, the higher the trim levels, the more safety features you get. And speaking of higher, what's great about an SUV, let alone a full-size SUV, is how high you sit and how easy it is to look out over the road. Extremely large mirrors. Even your rear view is pretty reasonable, even with the headrests up. This really does drive much more comfortable than you'd imagine an SUV to drive, because like we said, it's built on the Odyssey platform, and I'm in normal drive mode now. Of course, I can spice things up a little bit, put it in sport mode. I can hear it automatically pull back the transmission, giving you a little more juice along the way. But again, I'm just cruising around. I don't need it in sport. The instrumentation is laid out very nicely. A very large gauge system here, your multimedia interface display with all of your menus that you can just scroll through at the touch of a finger, find out what's going on, check your settings. You can even turn it blank if you want. Plus you have your 8-inch screen over here with all of your regular apps set up. It is Apple CarPlay, Android Auto compatible, so you can have access to, your own Apple or Android Navi should you so desire. Though you can get the Honda Navi system set up with the upper trim level as well. Now, if you're looking for power to power up your cell phone or your tablets or what have you. You do have a 12 volt right up here in the center area, plus a USB. There's also a 12 volt and a USB down here in your storage area in the center armrest or center console. And you've got a USB in the second row, and you also have a 12 volt in the very back. So there's plenty of ways to keep the power going here in the 2022 Honda Pilot. Everybody carries their cell phone with them. And what's interesting is there's two little areas up here, little storage bins, but they're worthless as far as my phone is concerned, but it's there. I would just as soon tuck it right here off to the side. It's really pretty quiet in here. There's a tremendous amount of sound insulation because I am just surrounded by traffic and vans and trucks and everything in between. And there's a lot of acoustical headlining up here. And oh, speaking of up here, you have your drop down sunglass holder and rear passenger mirror. So they keep an eye on. And in the upper trim level, you also have cabin talk, which just like they have in the Odyssey minivan, you can turn off the kids' headphones and start speaking to them directly with that, which is a very cool feature as well. One of the things I didn't mention when I was showing you behind the third row seat there with the storage area is that there are little cubbies on either side of the storage area, a deeper one on the left, a little bit more shallow one on the right. And what you don't see back there is the emergency spare tire, because that's tucked underneath, right next to the hidden exhaust pipe. But you do access it from inside the rear cargo area, but that's hopefully something you never need. Hopefully you never get a flat tire in this vehicle. I hope. The seats are very comfortable. These are, by the way, both in the EXL, the front passenger and driver seats are power seats, and they are also heated seats, which is great. And you do have your fold down armrest right here, if you so desire. There you go. I'm not a big fan of armrests, personally. I just as soon keep my hands on the wheel. And speaking of the wheel, of course, we have our leather-wrapped steering wheel here. You do have tilt and telescopic. It's a manual setting, which is a tradition for Honda, I believe, but it's nice so you can set it up to your comfort level. I'm driving very eco because there's a light bar at the top of your instrumentation that'll glow green when you do and turn off paler when you aren't. Now we get to try out the electronic brake force distribution and the ABS braking system and the quad disc all the way around, because we're now entering traffic. Yay! This is awesome. Bumper to bumper DC traffic. If you haven't experienced it, I know it's not as bad as other places in the world, but right now it sucks. As far as interior cabin quality is concerned, you do have a harder pebbled plastic surface up top here, which some people complain about. For me, I think it's a better idea, because even if you do get your hands up here once in a while, if it gets dirty, it's a whole lot easier to clean. But they do have the softer material on the inset on the armrest itself down here, so that works out. The interior is extremely clean, especially because of the transmission system. Even though I forgot to mention, you do have paddle shifters. So if you want to get a little sporty that way too, you've got paddle shifting action. And you have your tri-zone air conditioning, which you have your controls here, very tactile feel. You can just push up for temperature, drop down, either way. Your fan, you can adjust it. You can make it sync up left or right. You can also control the rear settings. Here's my rear seat. Now it's setting the temperature, rear settings, adjust it, and then I want to lock it, I can do that. And they have control back there as well, unless I decide to become really mean and take it away from them. One of the Honda safety features is, your brake mitigation, as it were, and they've got a giant screen in the middle of your multimedia interface display, because that car was slowing down and the Honda Pilot thought I wasn't slowing quite fast enough, and so it just said brake, which is very nice. I appreciate it. All right, well, we're going to check out the acceleration since I've got a little break in the action here. Hold on tight. Bam. That'll get you going. That was nice. All right. Coolio. I always do this. I don't know if it's good or bad, but I take the farthest lane in a merge, travel as far as I can, and then politely ask, "Please let me in. Please, kind sir, can I merge with you? Please." Like right now. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. Okay, we're kind of merging. All right, maybe I merged a little too soon. Oh, I had another 10, 15 cars I could have gone through there. Gosh darn it. Oh, well, I was busy talking to you. Anyway, oh, and there's a police car up there, so why cause trouble? This really does give you a comfortable ride, all things considered. And you can adjust it with your drive mode select, which is right down here. This is in normal. I can put it in snow if I want that extra traction and handling. I can put it in mud if I'm off-roading it a bit, and I can put it in sand if I'm in the desert. All at the touch of your finger. There is a very nice feature that goes along with the all-wheel drive system, which is the variable torque management system, which will send power or torque to the non-slipping wheels in the blink of an eye. So you're going to get maximum traction and handling in all sorts of driving conditions. So that gives you a tremendous amount of security and comfort, knowing you're taking care of you and your passengers, be it 6 or 8. Oh, there's my blind spot light. I like the blind spot light on the inside rather than on the mirror because it just makes it a whole lot easier to see. This is nice. This is really a comfortable ride for a full-size SUV. And I think that's probably the sweet spot that Honda was looking for. Because as popular as the Odyssey minivan is, not everyone wants to drive a minivan, yet they need to be able to carry the people and cargo. So why not go for a full-size SUV and have the versatility of the all-wheel drive as well? And the rugged feel. Oh, I'm not driving a minivan, I'm a manly man. While you're carrying the kids to soccer practice. Check it out. This might be the best alternative for you. See how it feels. All right, well, we've certainly had an interesting time in the rain and now the not so much rain. We certainly appreciate you joining us today, and we hope you check out more of our videos on our YouTube channel and subscribe if you haven't already.